Only 1 minute remaining before the start of this next bout.
Kali. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I need for you to get some energy going up here, Westchester County. Please welcome to the track the ladies from Raleigh, North Kakalaki, the Carolina Roller Girls. At 00, Celia Fate. Number 6, Thrashley. Number 8, Deviled Legs. Number 12, MC Fight. Number 17, Misanthrope the Mordant. Number 23, Eris Discordia. Number 51, Kali. Number 110, Jesse King. Number 224, Pink Slip. Number 313, JoJo Gadget. 454, 4 on the floor, it's El Camino. 1891, Sue Yu. And at co-captain, number 131, DVS. And at co-captain, number 9, Holly wanna crack ya! Ladies and gentlemen, the Carolina Roller Girls! Bench coaching for the Carolina Roller Girls, Evil Ed and Kelly Hurd.
Oh my God, what does it mean? It is the Montreal New Skids on the Block!
Oh my God, it's so intense.
It's so bright!
That is amazing.
We're number 1 exits Majma El Kid! Number 2, Lil Mama! We're number triple X, Smack Daddy! Number 2 by 4, No Holds Barred! Number 40, George Shot W. Tush! Number 86, Lady J! Little Cats, it's Revolver! 202, Nameless Horror! Number 222, Romeo! Number 289, Cheese Grater! Number 516, Iron Wench! Number 1111, Bone Machine! Number 7734, Ewan Wood Army! And the captain, number 8, Jess Bandit! Their manager is the Rev. Ladies and gentlemen, from Montreal, the New Skids on the Block!
Our ref crew tonight, head ref Professor Murder, inside pack ref Trippendale. Our jam refs are Major Woods, Skatesophrenia, and outside pack ref Searson, Luna Skategood, Hambone, and our head NSO, Ian Fluenza.
All right, we are bringing you the Team 6 versus Team 7. This is a consolation bout. We're looking for Carolina versus Montreal. You're watching the WFTDA East Region Playoffs on viewer-supported, volunteer-powered DerbyNewsNetwork.com. This is Bulldog, And with me is Plastic Patrick of the Montreal Roller Derby.
Hello. Hello, Bulldog.
That is Plastic Patrick. And Plastic Patrick, who do we have jamming right now?
Right now, starting off, it's the Iron Wench.
And for Carolina, we've got Holly Wanna-Krakia, number 999. Iron Wench moving up the outside. DVS gets a piece of her, forcing her out of bounds. Moving right into the action. Holly Wanna-Krakia gets up to the front, but we've got Bone Machine, number 1111, up front. Holly Wanna-Krakia, though, muscles her way up the inside. Gets out of the pack first for Lead Jammer. Iron Wench forced to the inside and has to backpedal and moves to the back of the pack. Iron Wench dodges around JoJo Gadget, gets up to the front, but it's once again Devious, team captain for Carolina, holding up the front and forcing Iron Wench to the ground. Holly Wanna-Krakia moving in on a scoring pass.
It's very rare that the Iron Wench is forced to the back of the pack, and she still has not gotten through. I have not seen that very often. She's a very quick skater and a very agile, and she must be pretty surprised to be stuck behind all this defense. Carolina is doing very well, I mean, in this first minute of playing.
Smack Daddy heading to the box, number 3X for Montreal. Montreal in the fabulous fluorescent yellow, and what do you call those pants?
Distracting.
Distracting pants. And Carolina in the black. Well, Holly Wanna-Krakia breaks out of the pack, picks up only 4 points. She actually got one invalid pass, only going to pick up 4, even though she was in Grand Slam territory. But here she goes, gets a hip whip off of a shirt whip, really, off of Misanthrope the Morden, number 17 for Carolina. Gets quickly up to the front of the pack, but now with position, it's Jess Bandit, number 8, team captain for Montreal, and Holly Wanna-Krakia picking up 5 points.
And now we got the Iron Wench sitting in the box. This is very unusual from the Iron Wench. She not only didn't get through, but now she's sitting in the penalty box. I think Carolina wants this really bad, and the girls from Montreal are just taken by surprise right now.
All right, I think it looks like Holly Wanna-Krakia is sent to the penalty box as the jam ends, and that's I think that might have been a low block on Bone Machine, number 1111 of Montreal. And what this means, Iron Wench was in the penalty box at the time, but the jam ended before Holly Wanna-Krakia gets into the penalty box. And what that means is that Iron Wench is going to stand up, but she's going to start from the penalty box, and she'll be released as soon as the jammer whistle blows. That's 2 whistles after the first whistle that, of course, starts the pack. And Holly Wanna-Krakia will serve the exact same amount of time that Iron Wench served up until the last jam ended, which approximately 20 or 30 seconds. That's a rough estimate, of course. We don't have the exact number. Only the guy with the penalty timer, the guy with the stopwatch, actually knows. But we're on an official timeout, so why don't we take a moment to thank some of our sponsors.
Well, we must thank the WFTDA knockdown sponsor, which is Dr. Hashta, the official bruise healer of WFTDA players. Lose the bruise with Dr. Hushka's Ouch Aid. We've also got
Sailor Jerry's Rum.
Sailor Jerry's Rum. I've
Always
got to taste
a crowd
that.
pleaser.
Stewed, screwed, and tattooed. Perfect for us.
Well, maybe for the after party.
Well, unless you're playing.
And all weekend long, of course, our live coverage on DNN being brought to you by Atom Wheels. Atom Wheels introduces the all-new Juke 2.0, now available with either nylon or alloy hubs. Juke 2.0 is cut to the same low 59mm height preferred by the reigning champions of roller derby, the Ole Rollers. And it looks like our official timeout has concluded. Once again, Iron Wench standing in the penalty box. She'll be released immediately with the second whistle that starts the jammers. And there she goes. Smack Daddy also completing her minute in the penalty box. Holly Wanna-Krakia actually already standing up. So actually Iron Wench only briefly in the penalty box before Holly Wanna-Krakia went in as well. Iron Wench quickly up to the front of the pack, but Jesse King, Misanthrope the Mordant, and El Camino at the front of the pack. El Camino tries to reel back in Iron Wench, but this time, like you were saying,
and she
Patrick,
gets through, finally. She must be very relieved. She's a very quick skater, and she's not used to being stuck behind 3 blockers and not being able to pass them. And there we go. Holly Wanna-Krakia wants to stop the jam. Was she lead jammer?
She was.
She was.
Iron Wench got through first, but did not get lead jammer. Holly Wanna-Krakia immediately getting out of the pack pretty quickly and picking up lead jammer immediately, seeing that she got lead jammer. She calls off the jam immediately, and with great earnestness. You might have seen she was doing a very quick flap of the hands, but calling off the jam, and that's gonna hold Montreal to only 4 points on this one. Holly Wanakrakio, of course, having picked up 12 points in the first jam. So the score now 12-4, and just over 26 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold start for the Carolina Rollers. What? And now jamming for Carolina Roller Girls is Eris Discordia, facing Georgia Tush, the league founder of Montreal Roller Derby.
Indeed, Georgia W. Tush, number 40 ounce. Does she ever go by just W?
No, and I wonder if she feels that her name is out of style now that George W. Bush has long gone from the office.
Can you say that again?
I was wondering if she feels her name has gone out of style now that George W. Bush has retired.
Yeah, I just, this is that last part. I heard you the first time, but I just wanted to hear it again. Georgia W.
I can repeat everything all you want. All night long.
All right, we've got Pink Slip going to the penalty box to join. We've got another skater already in there. Oh, that is DVS, team captain for Carolina, in the penalty box. And it looks like Pink Slip overshot the penalty box, so she went past the line of no return and has to do another complete lap before she can start serving her penalty. In the meantime,
Georgia W. Bush is just skating rounds and rounds around the Carolina defense. And she is picking up points. Could she be making up the points that they lost in the first jam?
5 points so far, and there she goes again, untouched. She
very quickly
grabs a hold of Smack Daddy and gets right through the pack. No, sorry, that's Ray Volver, number 38, of course.
Yeah.
Eris Discordia still trying to get through the pack, but Ray Volver all over. Nice shoulder check taking Eris Discordia to the outside. And here comes Georgia W. Tush. Squeezes right by Jesse
Wham,
King.
bam.
Gets a little glancing blow, but Georgia W. Tush just squeezes right up the inside line. Gets out again. Another 5 for Montreal. So Montreal coming back with a vengeance, already snatching back the lead. 20 points so far picked up by Georgia W. Tush. And Eris Discordia finally getting out of the penalty box. Out of the almost like the penalty box. She spent more than a minute in the pack without just getting beaten up. And Georgia W. Tush is going to call off that jam. And that's going to be a big one for Montreal. Starting out, going into the jam with 4 points, Georgia W. Tush makes makes 5 scoring passes and comes up with 24 more points. So the score now, Montreal 28, Carolina 12, and that's a lead change. So that means that if you're playing the DNN drinking game at home, it's time to take a shot.
I'm not familiar with that game, but I'll drink water all you want.
That's right. Take a shot of water, milk, orange juice, whatever your favorite beverage is at home. This is DNN family, folks.
Georgia Tush had a very good game earlier today, and she did a few of those multiple player jams. And she gets to sit down right now, and I'm sure to take a well-deserved break. Right now, for this coming jam, we've got Celia Fate facing the return of the Iron Wench.
The Iron Wench.
I'm sure wanting revenge on that first frustrating jam of the night.
And for Carolina, 0-0, Celia Fate. All right, looks like Lil Mama, number 2, in the penalty box for Montreal. And that is Pink Slip, number 224 for Carolina.
So 3-on-3. It's even.
That's right, 3-on-3 in the pack. Carolina, of course, in the black with the red trim, and Montreal in the bright fluorescent yellow that probably pops right off your screen. Really hard to miss.
Looks really good on the blue, too.
And the fluorescent pink, of course.
Yes.
Iron Wench hits the pack first, but Celia Fate finds that inside line. Carolina guarding the back of the pack. Montreal contend with guarding the front, but Celia Fate slams into the same kind of trouble that Iron Wench is. And Iron Wench slips up the inside and finds a way forward to lead jammer. Celia Fate gets out of the pack as well. Gets a little love shove from Miss Anthrope to Morden to get out of the pack, but about 4 strides behind Iron Wench, the jammer from Montreal. Le jammer.
La jammeuse.
La jammeuse. Okay.
Yes, a lady, we say la.
Oh, excuse, pardon.
Yeah, no problem.
Our Iron Wench is going to call off the jam, and she's not going to pick up any points. That's going to be a scoreless jam. So once again, it's time to take a drink if you're playing along at home. Now that looks like You and What Army jamming for Montreal. And number nine, Holly Wanna Crack Ya jamming for
Holly
Carolina.
Wanna Crack Ya. Has nothing to do with the Beatles song, by the way. I was very fooled by that introduction.
That's right. Yeah, there was some minor controversy about that, but we did sort all that out. It looks like a bone machine in the penalty box for Montreal, so it's going to be 4-on-3 pack advantage for Carolina.
Yeah, Montreal getting into an unusual amount of trouble in this very early on in this game. There was a lot of penalty in the last game with Dutchland, but I thought that they were going to solve that, and now here they are. In and out of the penalty box.
Doing pretty well so far. They had a little shaky start, but quickly moved into the lead. And now Holly Wanna Crack You back in action as jammer and quickly through the pack. Nice, tenacious blocking from Jess Bandit on that first pass. And once again on the second pass, on her first scoring pass, Holly Wanna Crack You running into trouble with Jess Bandit, the only blocker that Holly Wanna Crack You seems to have been having trouble with. But Holly Wanna Crack You nevertheless able to make it through for a full pass, and she's going to pick up 5 points for Carolina, and that's going to bring the score to 28-17 as Holly Wanna Crack You calls it off.
And no points for You and What Army, and she had 104 points in that game against Dutchland, so a slow start for her, but I'm sure she can make it up. And now here is the woman that scored 24 points in that first jam that she was in. Miss Georgia Tush.
League captain, or league founder, team captain, and,
Jess Bandit is the team captain.
Oh, excuse me.
It's okay.
I'm
Don't worry about it. That's why I'm here.
Pardon.
Pas de problème.
Hey. What'd you call me? Okay, here we go. Georgia W. Tush running into a little trouble. Miss Anthrop the Morden had some nice shoulder action. El Camino, though, unable to stop Georgia W. Tush, and Georgia W. Tush getting out of the pack. But looks like she picked up a cutting the track minor. But not to worry. Eris Discordia, the jammer for Carolina, heading to the penalty box. So it's power jam for Georgia W. Tush, and he finds a wide open outside. Not exactly a wide open. See, it finds more like an outside path. You know, there were actually 3 Carolina blockers all trying to trap her on the outside, but Georgia W. somehow squeaked by.
She just came right in and took right off.
That's going to be 5 points picked up by Georgia W. Tush, and now moving in on the second scoring pass.
And she was forced to back up, and now the Montreal blockers have brought the pack to a stop.
They've got JoJo Gadget trapped at the back of the pack, and JoJo Gadget brawling with the Montreal skaters, and it looks like JoJo Gadget taking down 2 Montreal skaters, but still trapped at the back of the pack. Now she fights her way forward, but nevertheless, Georgia W. Tush able to get out once again. This time only picking up 4 points, even though she was eligible for that 5th jammer point. She obviously got the jammer point, but did not get all of the blocker points.
Well, she's a fair player. She just said, you want that 1 point, keep it.
Well, let's hope that doesn't come back to haunt her. But Georgia W. Tush gets taken down. Looks like a little rough. Getting up, looks a little bit shaken. Eris Discordia coming out of the penalty box, though.
Like a rocket.
Quickly through the pack this time. But we have no lead jammer. So Eris Discordia actually potentially can't know. Well, I spoke too soon before I looked at the jam clock. Eris Discordia making a great progress on the track, but not reaching the pack in time to put. Well, now she's getting up to 21 points, but Georgia W. Tush again with another big jam, bringing the score to 41 points for Montreal, 21 points for Carolina.
And now in this next jam, it is for Carolina, Celia Fate facing the great jammer, the Iron Wench, who has so far been kept away from the points.
I think she did manage to pick up 4 points on that second jam coming out of the penalty box.
Oh, you're right.
But she has been jammers. I think this is her 4th time jamming in only 6 jams. Maybe, I'll have to double check the math on that. But Georgia W. Tush has scored actually most of the points for Montreal in only 2 jams, but they were both power jams, and Georgia W. Tush racking up those points. But here comes Iron Wench getting out of the pack. Unfortunately, not lead jammer again. Montreal has been having some bad, some trouble with that. Georgia W. Tush got out of the pack in that last jam, but did not get lead jammer either. And now Iron Wench getting out of the pack. I don't think Iron Wench has gotten the lead jammer even once.
Not yet.
Even though she's jammed several times. Oh, that's right. That's the one I was missing. Ewan Wood Army did jam one time, so that's actually only Iron Wench's third time jamming, plus one time where she actually was in the penalty box at the half. So 4 jams total. But I don't know, when they start out in the penalty box, it's kind of questionable whether you count that as another time jamming, although technically it's a separate jam. But, I'm kind of thinking in terms of a bench manager, the plans that the bench manager had, where really kind of sidestepped those plans. Ewan Wood Army, the jammer against Holly Wanna-Krakia for Carolina. And
Ewan Wood Army out from the line like a rocket, but stopped right away as soon as she hits the pack. Having some trouble with three Carolina blockers. And she is pushed back. No. She makes it to the front. One more blocker to go, and she makes it. She is the lead jammer. The Carolina pivot had tried to catch her, but she was outside the pack. And she is not lead jammer because of an illegal pass.
That was actually an elbow.
Yeah, an elbow block.
That was, so an elbow minor. And Ewan Wood Army comes around for a scoring pass. Holly Wanna-Krakia calling off the jam as soon as she gets out of the pack. But not before Ewan Wood Army picks up 4 points. Oh, actually, you know what? I think you were right. It looked like I saw the jammer for Montreal calling a cutting the track minor on his jammer. That would be Ewan Wood Army. But it's unclear whether that was why she didn't get lead jammer or if that was a subsequent minor. Sometimes there can be a little bit of confusion there. So she might have gotten 1 minor or 2 minors. But nevertheless, we've got Eris Discordia in her thigh-high candy-striped stockings. That's the jammer for Carolina up against Georgia W. Tush once again for Montreal.
I was looking for those pink shorts, and now I've got them. She was leaning over. Big spill from Ray Volver. It takes on everybody, and now Miss Discordia just with 2 more blockers to go, and Jess Bandit pushes her right out of the track, and she has to get back behind her, and she was forced to the back of the pack. In the meantime, where is Georgia Tush?
Georgia W. Tush is
still at the back.
That's Pink Slip and Jesse King with the 2-wall, and then DVS moving in, number 131 for Carolina, taking Georgia W. Tush out of bounds. Georgia W. Tush not slipping through the pack as easily as she did in the first 2 times jamming, but there she is. As soon as I say that, then all of a sudden she just kind of pops out.
Isn't that always the way it works?
It is. As soon as I say something and make a declarative statement, the skaters on the track immediately make a liar of me.
That's right,
It's
and now
true
she
right
stopped it.
It'll be true right up until the second it comes out of my mouth.
So maybe you could just control the games that way.
It's a mystical power of announcers. Hey, guess who that is jamming for Montreal? The one, only.
The Iron Wench.
The Iron Wench! And number 00, Celia Fate, jamming for Carolina. Looks like we have a 4-on-2 pack advantage. Montreal with 2 blockers in the penalty box.
Yeah, that's Nameless Horror and Ray Volver.
That's right, number 38 for Montreal, and number 202, Nameless Horror. Iron Wench at the back of the pack. We've got a 3-wall from Carolina, and Celia Fate making short work of exploiting this 4-on-2 advantage in the pack and quickly getting out for lead jammer. And now making great speed to get around the track. JoJo Gadget trapped behind a 2-wall that Montreal is trying to slow down the pack and try and give that 20-foot, allow Iron Wench to clear that 20-foot zone, but not fast enough.
No, because Celia Fate called it off.
And Carolina slowly but surely narrowing the gap. Georgia W. Tush scored almost all of those 45 points in just 2 jams.
Looks like Carolina's really got a hit on the Iron Wench. They've been keeping an eye on her, and so far they've got it down to 4 points only in almost half a period. More than half a period.
Well, we've seen this dynamic before. The teams don't just go out and party or have lunch. When the other teams are skating. If they know they're going to be playing against a team, they will sit there and watch that team playing against other teams. Or if there's even a possibility that they're going to be playing them. And I bet that when they were watching Montreal skating against other teams, they spotted Iron Wench from a mile away. And when they do that, they in their strategy sessions, they say, look, you know what, if we shut down this jammer, that's going to really put a kink in the other team's offense. But you know what, Georgia W. Tush doing more than just filling in the gap, actually scoring most of those 45 points we're seeing on the scoreboard. But Carolina doing their job, getting lead jammer more consistently than Montreal, and slowly inching their way forward. Only 14 points separating these two teams.
And now it's a power jam for Holy Wanna-Crack. Holy Wanna-Crack, power jam. While the Iron Wench is sitting in the box. How unusual. They are not only keeping her away from the points, but they are throwing her into the box.
How they want to crack you, getting out of the pack. Now Montreal with all 4 blockers on the track once again. So Iron Wench sitting in the penalty box by her lonesome. And now Montreal working the front of the pack. Looks like Nameless Horror was trapped in the Carolina goat pen briefly. But now it's Smack Daddy, number 3X for Montreal, in the goat pen for Carolina, and that forces the into the engagement zone, forces Montreal to give ground at 20 feet, and Holly Wanna-Crack picking up 5 points on the grand slam for Carolina.
And Smack Daddy finally makes it out of the prison and takes down 2 or 3 players while she's trying to skate around. Now forming a great big wall of neon at the front of the pack, and Holy Wanna-Crack trying to get out, but she doesn't, takes a spill and calls off the jam.
All right, Holly Wanna-Crack just getting completely frustrated, but nevertheless manages to pick up all 4 points. So at some point she passed each one of the actually, she only had to pass 3 of the blockers, and she gets that ghost point. Any one of those blockers gives her the ghost point for Iron Wench, because Iron Wench was still in the penalty box up until she got into the pack. But Iron Wench released. Holly Wanna-Crack turns around, sees Iron Wench coming, immediately calls off the jam. Point protection, folks. That is the name of the game, and that is why lead jammer is so important. But we've got a timeout called by Montreal.
And we should take this time to tell you about the skates that all these skaters are wearing, which is the Rydell skate, the official skate of WFTDA. If you were here, you could stop by the Rydell booth and check out the derby skates made for the extreme conditions of today's roller derby, but you can probably just check out their website for more information. As well, they've got their Atom wheels rolling under those skates, the official wheel of WFTDA. Go to the Atom Wheels booth or website and check out the all-new Juke 2.0. Better roll, better grip, second to none.
AtomWheels.com. Great skates, and the preferred skates of the Ole Rollers, the defending national, or actually WFDDA champions. And a big thanks from DNN to 5on5 Magazine, the official magazine of the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. Subscribe now at 5on5mag.com. Also, the very first sponsor of DNN, it's Sin City Skates, the original Derby-owned skate shop. Buy skates from a skater at sincityskates.com.
And back in action, only 5 points. Montreal leading 45, Carolina 40. And Ewan Watt Army trying to get to the front of the pack, and she does. She is the lead. No, she is not lead jammer.
No, I know. You see that finger come out, and it looks like, as she comes out of the pack, and it looks like lead jammer. But when it makes that upward arc, that's the heartbreaker, and that's when Ewan Wood Army gets sent to the penalty box, and suddenly it's a power jam. Eris Discordia, it has claimed the lead jammer, and now into the pack on a scoring pass. Grabs a hip whip off a couple of her teammates. Actually, El Camino, I didn't think she put that much force, but El Camino, actually I think El Camino just spinning around looking for the Montreal skaters. But here comes Eris Discordia, another scoring pass, moving up, grabs a hip whip off a pink slip. It slams into Romeo, number 222 for Montreal, and that stops her in her tracks. Yeah. But at 20 feet, Cheese Grater forced to give ground. Romeo heading to the penalty box as well. So Montreal getting into some serious penalty trouble. Carolina at full strength.
And they are at full strength indeed. They have actually taken the lead, 50 points to 45 for Carolina. And for more points, 5 more points for Carolina. Montreal being very shut out from the points, and I'm sure they're very frustrated.
Eris Discordia doing a little dance around Lady J on that pass. And already a fourth scoring pass moving in on Eris Discordia hits the front of the pack. Cheese Grater, Lady J, and Smack Daddy stop her with a 3-wall at the front. Eris Discordia, though, calling off the jam, going to settle for 3 points on that last pass. But a huge jam for Carolina, and that puts them into a commanding lead, 13 points ahead of Montreal. So once again, a lead change. And what does that mean, Patrick?
That means that they're going to have to get their stuff together. Oh, it means that we're taking a sip? Gotcha. Got my
shot.
water. Here we go.
That's a shot. Get those jiggers ready and pull out that. Pull the milk out of the fridge. Pull the apple juice out of the bottle.
You know, I was just too busy learning the hand signals for the penalties and the referees that I forgot to learn the rules of that drinking game.
Well, you can go to another one of our sponsors, Wicked Skatewear. And the shirt with all the rules. Actually, they may have discontinued it because I think well, that's a long story.
I wonder why.
But you can also go check it out at dn.com. You can find out the rules there. But Iron Wench,
and here we go. She is the lead jammer for the first time tonight. She has decided that this is enough, and she has taken the lead jammer status for this jam.
Celia Fate so far bottled up. Jess Bandit holding on to her on point for Montreal. No holds barred, and Jess Bandit now with a 2-wall at the front. Celia Fate
heading for the penalty box, which means a power jam for Iron Wench. This is time to make up the lost ground.
It's Power Wench to the rescue for Montreal. Now she's already picked up 5 points for Montreal and coming around for a second scoring pass. Carolina right now at 58 points. More bad news for Carolina.
Blocker only.
That's right. Misanthrope the Morden was standing up, so that means that Kali and DVS heading to the penalty box. So it's only Misanthrope the Morden and Jesse King on the track for Carolina trying to do a power kill. Montreal at full strength. And the blockers just holding back. And now, nice work. And there, you were telling us about the agility of Iron Wench. And now we saw it. You know, the Misanthrope the Morden has some of the most consummate positional blocking skills that I've seen this entire tournament. And Iron Wench was just able to juke right around her to the outside. I haven't seen anybody do that, and there she did it again. So you know what? You weren't lying about the Iron Wench. She's got some skills out there.
She's got some skills. She's not just distracting with her pants. She's quick on her feet. And taking back the lead for the new skids on the block.
That's right. We've got now 68 to 58, so that means take another shot. Man, this is going to be a rough one at home. I hope you're not lactose intolerant from drinking all that milk.
Well, maybe I can take this time out to send shout out or bonjour to some Montreal friends listening to us, such as Trash and Smash, who is a part of the new Skids on the Block but is not with us here today. I'm sure she's watching, as well as Funky Little Queen, FLQ. Salut, FLQ. And look, we've got Georgia Tush for another Power Jam. This is the queen of Power Jam. Oh, no, it's not Power Jam.
It was the Celia Fate coming out. She was the jammer, but started in the box, but only had a couple of seconds left. And, of course, the penalty time starts as soon as the first whistle goes. That's the one releasing the pack.
And they held it back so she could jump on the line.
However, Celia Fate did that when she was released from the penalty box. The jammer whistle had not started, so she did correctly move behind the jammer line. Alternatively, she could have waited for in the penalty box for the jammer whistle to blow and then left then. But she took it. She wanted to start out on an equal footing with Georgia W. Tush, which I can't really blame you. Oh, there we have Romeo.
Somebody
number
down,
222
Romeo.
From Montreal.
Yeah.
Now, she looks like
knocked
she's
down.
May have just had the wind knocked out of her. She doesn't seem to be indicating any particular part of the body, but nevertheless, as a technical matter, the jam was called off for that injury. So just as a technical matter, she will have to sit out for at least 3 jams. Romeo will have to sit out. Am I saying it right, or is it Romeo or
Romeo?
Okay,
like Juliet's boyfriend.
Right. Okay, just checking.
That's it.
Well, like Rodeo Drive in Los Angeles. They
As
pronounce
opposed to
it wrong.
Rodeo.
That's right.
No, it's Romeo minus Juliet.
And there's also the Alfa Romeo, which is Alfa Romeo, the Italian sports car.
The beautiful sports car.
So, I like to double check these things. But all right, but is that's a Smack Daddy?
That's Smack Daddy on her first jam of the night.
They're going up against Holly Wanna Crack Ya. We got 3-on-3 in the pack. Oh, no, I spoke too soon. Jess Bandit coming out of the penalty box. She was already standing at the first whistle. So it's going to be 4-on-3 pack advantage in favor of Montreal.
And look at that, Smack Daddy jetting out of the line, getting first lead jammer status right away.
And Iron Wench showing some blocking skills in addition to those jamming skills
Yeah,
we
she
saw.
can do it all. She can cook, she can clean, and she can block.
She was keeping Holly Wannacracky under control. Then slipped a little bit coming out of turn 2, and Holly Wannacracky was able to get out that time. But nevertheless, Mac Daddy into the back on a scoring pass, and she is the lead jammer. So we're probably you know what's going to happen. We're looking at that. No, Holly Wannacracky getting into the. Oh no, you know what? I spoke too soon. Smack Daddy, it looked like she did. She wasn't even looking behind her, but perfect execution there. No points picked up by Holly Wannacracky. So close. And did Montreal pick up any points on that?
3 points. 3 points, now sitting at 68 versus 60 for Carolina.
Oh, perhaps I.
And officials timeout.
All right, so the score 68-60.
Now we can take this time to say hello to some of our sponsors, such as Derby Skins. Does your hiney need to be shiny?
Absolutely.
Well, then
Especially
stop and check out Derby Skins.
Especially from Montreal, am I right?
That's right. Shiny all over all the time.
That's right, derbyskins.com. That's skins with a Z. Also like to thank DNN sponsor Cruise Skate Shop. They are Derby-owned in San Francisco with a second location now open in Sacramento, which is the location of the Western Regional Championship just next week. So open just in time for that. You can find them online at cruzskateshop.com. That's C-R-U-Z skateshop.com. And we may have an official challenge out there. We see both of the team captains and coaches talking with head ref Professor Murder, and so we're going to check that out. We may have an official challenge, but sometimes it's difficult to find out what's going on.
Well, points haven't changed.
That's right. Still 2 timeouts. Ordinarily, an official challenge eats up a timeout unless the head ref, at the head ref's discretion, he chooses not to charge the team with a timeout. But
and here goes Montreal with a brand new jammer again, Little Mama.
Little Mama, 2 pint. And
2
she's going
pint.
against Eris Discordia. Oh, is that 2 point or 2 pint?
2 pint.
Either one makes sense.
2 pint.
Eris Discordia, though, making short work of the pack, gets out of the pack first. Nameless Horror heading to the penalty box to join No Holds Barred, number 2x4 for Montreal. So it's going to be a 3-on-2 pack advantage. There is one skater. It looks like Misanthrope the Mordant in the penalty box for Carolina. But Eris Discordia gets through, finishes her scoring pass just as Lil Mama gets out of the pack. And that is going to be a 4-point jam.
4-point
Not
jam.
quite getting that extra jammer point, that extra that jammer lap point that would have put it to 5 points. But
No.
nevertheless, once again, Carolina and Montreal keeping it close. A 64-68, only a 4-point game. It's been as wide as 20 points separating these two teams, but both teams just keep coming back. As soon as one opens up a gap, the other one closes it right back up again.
I think Montreal was thinking they would have a much easier game than this. And now we've got Celia Fate going up against Georgia W. Tush. And Celia Fate, right out of the pack, gets lead jammer status, and Georgia Tush still struggling with the Carolina defense.
That's right. Pink slip taking Georgia W. Tush to the outside. Now we've got
And
Georgia
she
W.
makes it
Tush
through.
Does finally beats off. I shouldn't say that. Beats out Pink slip number 224 and gets out of the pack. But Celia Fate already on a scoring pass, but getting a lot of trouble from No Holds Barred, fresh out of the penalty box.
Yeah, No Holds Barred just banned and holding up the fort for Montreal. Denying her. And oh, no, she did get some points.
She got 3 points.
She got 3 points.
But that's not quite enough to tie it up. So only a 1-point game now with just over 4 minutes, just under 5 minutes left in the first half. And it's a 67-68 game. So these teams really closely matched. Of course, Montreal coming in at 6th seed, Carolina coming in at 7th seed.
And then what happens when you are so close, you bring out the Iron Wench. And let's see what you can fix with the Iron Wench. Facing Holy Wannacracky.
Holly Wannacracky getting eaten up by the Bone Machine, and now Iron Wench forced wide outside by JoJo Gadget. So both jammers having to make another start over their run through the back. But this time, Holly
And there you go.
Wanacrakia squeezes right in between Nameless Horror and Bone Machine, gets out of the pack and picks up Lead Jammer. But Iron Wench making a run for it. Misanthrope the Morton just misses with a shoulder check, and Iron Wench out of the pack. But a half a lap behind Holly Wanacrakia. Holly Wanacrakia into the back on a scoring pass. Dodges right around Smack Daddy. Nameless Horror trying to catch her. But Holly Wanacrakia calling off the jam and snatching 4 points. And that's going to be yet another lead change. 71-68, so time to take another shot.
Yeah, Holy Wanacrakia seemed to be getting pissed off at the scoring referee, telling him, I got 4 points, I got 4 points. Did you see my 4 points? I got my 4 points.
And she got 4 points.
And indeed, everybody was on the same page.
All right, and we haven't seen a lot of this, but You and What Army taking an intentional minor by starting behind the jammer line as a blocker, and that means she has 3 minors. She's going to take that intentional fourth to clean the slate. That usually means that we're going to see her jamming coming up shortly, but we've got Lil Mama on the jammer line going up against Eris Discordia.
And Little Mama being pretty upset with the first jam not being very productive, wanting to get back at it. And
Nice.
There she goes. Oh, and she's having some hard time with
Jessie King, number
Jessie
110
King.
for Carolina. All over Lil Mama. Lil Mama finally fighting her way forward, getting past Jessie King, only to get caught up with MC Fight, number 12 for Carolina. And there goes Darius Discordia. Picks up a penalty. I'm watching the jam ref to see if he's going to tell us what the penalty was, but unfortunately missed it. But that doesn't change the fact Eris Discordia in the penalty box, and Lil Mama gets out of the pack, and she is on the power jam. And it looks like referee checking to see if, and she is lead jammer. Now, usually if you see the jam ref turning around and yelling at the other jam ref, and that means he got lead jammer. He just doesn't know for sure yet.
It was a close pass, but she was inside the line. And now You and What Army is outside of the box, and she will try and help Little Mama get some points now. Carolina is speeding up the pack, but Montreal holding it back.
3-on-3 right now. Smack Daddy, number 3X for Montreal in the penalty box. It looks like Thrashley, number 6 for Carolina, is standing up in the penalty box. She'll be coming out soon, and that'll reduce it to... Oh, no, the jam gets called. Lil Mama calling off the jam, and she's going to... Well, she just had to get 3 points to tie it. Did you see how many points she got?
She didn't get any, I don't think.
Oh, that's tough luck. Tough luck for Montreal. Only a 3-point game right now, and in just over a minute. It's going to be less than a minute when the jam starts, unless someone calls a timeout.
And now here we go with the queen of power jams so far, and I'm talking about Miss Georgia Tush. There is no jammer for Carolina, so you bring out Georgia Tush, and hopefully for Montreal, history will repeat itself, and she will do another killer power jam.
JoJo Gadget slowing the start, just hanging behind the pivot line. Eris Discordia, jammer for Carolina, standing up now, and there goes Smack Daddy also standing up. So we're going to see the penalty box clear out very shortly. Oh, I spoke. What did I say? As soon as I say it, it's a lie.
Yeah, there you go.
Morton hit
She's
the penalty
out.
box. Misanthrope the Morton in the penalty box now. Georgia W. Tush, the lead jammer. Eris Discordia back in on the track and dodging. Juking and jiving, but we've got Cheese Grater and Lady J with a 2-wall at the front.
And she's back in the pack, back in the box.
Bad luck for
Wow.
Carolina. Right
Bad
back
luck
into the
and some
penalty
bad
box.
jams from Miss Discordia.
And I mean, does Georgia W. Tush have a...
Oh, no,
I was
she's
about
going
to
to the
say
box
that.
too.
I was about to say magical power jam powers, but there goes Georgia. As soon as I say it, it's a lie. Georgia W. Tush in the penalty box, but it's going to be a really short penalty. Eris Discordia only in there about 10 or 15 seconds, so Georgia W. Tush should be standing up any second now. But Eris Discordia, nevertheless, on a short but well-needed, much-needed power jam. And now, but Montreal locking down. Lady J gets mixed up with JoJo Gadget and Pink Slip at the back of the pack, taking out two of the Carolina skaters.
And now Georgia Tush is finally getting back on track, and she is going after that pack.
At the back of the pack, Miss
Is she allowed-
Mordant has position on her.
Is she
Catches
allowed
her-
to make some points right away? I would
believe,
think so.
I believe
just
she
sent
was
to the
on
box.
a scoring
Yeah.
pass. I believe she was on a scoring pass when she got sent to the box. And there goes Eris Discordia getting through the pack on her first scoring pass, 5 points, because Georgia W. Tush was actually in the penalty box when she started that scoring pass, but a lot of work Sorry. She got out of the pack, and Georgia W. Tush was still fighting to get through. So Eris Discordia actually lapped Georgia W. Tush when, even though they started out in the pack. It's a long story, but bottom line, 5 points for Carolina. But Georgia W. Tush did pick up 4 points for Montreal.
Points. Yeah, that's right, and that's that's a wrap for our first half.
Very
a tough, difficult first half for both teams. 72 for Montreal, 76 for Carolina. I think Carolina is having a good game, and Montreal was expecting this to be somewhat of an easier game, and they are trailing by 4 points.
Well, they came in Montreal in 6th seed, and Carolina has 7th seed. So Montreal actually slightly favored. And thus far in this tournament, all of the seedings have remained solid. Everyone, actually, every single game going according to the seeding. So I mean, if that trend continues, well, then Montreal is definitely favored in this game. But honestly, not by much. And Carolina putting up a great fight so far.
We should also say that Montreal did beat Carolina earlier this season. I'd say close to about half a year ago by something like 100 points.
But that is a long time in roller derby.
That's a long time ago in roller derby, indeed.
But a very quick shout out before we release you for halftime. A quick shout out to some of our more of our sponsors. Derby for All, Derby owned in Minneapolis and ready to serve you online at derby4all.com. And also our newest sponsor, Derby owned 5 Stride Skate Shop, now open to serve you in New York City. Learn more at 5strideskateshop.com. And, of course, our all weekend long brought to you by Adam Wheels. Check them out at adamwheels.com. And today's action brought to you by Flat Track Revolution. We'd like to thank them for producing the awesome gifts we've been sending out to our contributors. Your Every Revolution needs a live stream. Shirts, jackets, and tote bags will be on the way shortly if you haven't already received them. If you love the Every Revolution artwork and you want to see more, check them out at flattrackrevolution.com. The revolution shall be worn.
Also, we want to say hello to our Eastern Silver sponsors, Brazen Fox, always fun at the Fox, Ron Black's, an endless bar with amazing possibilities, as well as Elements, food and spirits, a Manhattan vibe in the middle of White Plains. 3 clubs that are happy to host this weekend's participants in these beautiful East Regional Finals.
All right, and this is Bulldog, and with me, Plastic Patrick from
Bonjour.
Montreal, and we're going to give you guys a break. We're going to be back to you about 7 minutes, but right now we're going to go offline temporarily. Give me my heart. I want it back. Give me my heart back. I want it back. I want it back. Give me my heart back. Give me my heart. I want it back. Give me my heart back. I want it back. I want it back. Give me my heart back. Get it. City.
falls off the chair.
They say we don't do enough. We don't stock enough skates, especially the bargain basement variety. We don't carry inlines or know the best place to get them. We don't have every package from every manufacturer. They say all these things. Yet every day we measure your feet. We study your stance and tailor your fit. We mount your plates and answer your questions. We build skates that make you fly. We're not here for them. We're here for you. And we want to make you go really, really fast. Make them catch up. Visit us online at fastgirlskates.com.
Only 2 minutes remaining before the start of the second half. Both teams are hiding out. They got to get out of their change rooms, get back to the track.
It's been a close game so far. 72 Montreal, 75 for Carolina. Going to go over a few stats. Montreal having one hell of a game thus far. It's been close. It's been exciting. And the points have been getting up there. They've had 7 lead jams. They've scored 72 points, 9 grand slams, and only 4 trips to the box. And then you look at Carolina's side. They also have been extremely effective. 12 lead jams, 76 points, 7 grand slams. Those numbers are very, very close to each other. It directly reflects what you're seeing on the scoreboard. We've got a minute left in halftime. The ladies are going to be coming out of the locker rooms in here just a few minutes, and we'll get ready to hop on the good foot and do the bad thing.
"45 seconds remaining before we kick off the second half. During the halftime, a slight scoring adjustment. 1 point deducted from Carolina, 75-72 now.
Welcome back, Derby fans. We are back at the Eastern Championships. This is Plastic Patrick, and we have decided to send away Bulldog just because the dog had to go pee outside, and I have called in Lady O from Boston. Hello, Lady O.
Hey, Plastic Patrick. It's Lady O, voice of the Boston Derby Dames, sitting in for Bulldog. He had to take a run, but I am glad to be sharing the mic with you again, especially for this game, Montreal versus Carolina. And speaking of this game, I've been watching it from out in the stands. This is something that you're going to want to remember. And if you are a Derby rep, if you're a Derby coach, if you're a skater, you're going to want to watch this over and over this game. Don't forget, you can always order DVDs.
Yes, you can. You can get it from Derby News Network. Click on the right icon, and you can get this game right now, the one that we're halfway through. Score 75-72 for Carolina, and you can watch this live. I bet these players are going to want to watch this game over and over again and analyze it to death. And now we've got the Iron Wench back on the jammer line for the News Kids on the block. And looks like
Holly want to crack you for the Carolina Roller Girls.
Well, that's a replica of the first jam of the night. And Holy Want to Crack Ya had that mastered. And looks like she does it again.
That's right. She found that inside. The ladies from Carolina were great at finding some holes for her. She gets it in quick and calls it.
Yeah, Iron Wench had caught right back. And she called it off right away. Holy Want to Crack Ya didn't want to waste any time. Calls off the jam, and no points in this jam. And back out now with Montreal. They sending out You and What Army. And Carolina will tell you in a second.
And folks, about the videos, the link is right underneath the actual video to buy this very bout if you're looking to buy it right now. Look right under the video screen. We're back in here again. On the line, jamming for Carolina, Eris Discordia.
And the pack going very fast. You and What Army is the lead jammer of this jam. And Erin Discordia still struggling with the Montreal defense.
That's right. Montreal hustling, trying to get back in the front of that pack.
And You and What Army forced to the back. Erin Discordia still struggling, trying to get her first pass. And You and What Army locked at the back.
That's right. A huge wall of day glow right now. The Carolina's fighting to poke some holes in it. The jammer's trying to find her lane.
And You and What Army gets it. She has scored 5 big points, having passed the jammer as well. Which puts Montreal 2 points ahead of Carolina. And now they have brought the pack to a stop. And Erin Discordia still not getting to the front. Romeo knocking her outside the track and getting to the back, making her come all the way back. And Smack Daddy the pivot. No, she's not the pivot. Asking her to come right to the front. And again, the pack has come to a stop. And You and What Army has unfortunately caught a penalty. So now the Montreal defense is on damage control. They do not want to let that jammer get through. And they just want... Oh, and she does.
That's right. The ladies from Carolina did a great job of setting the trap in the back, forcing that 20-foot call. They had to let her go.
Yeah. And let's see. And now Erin Discordia is on a power jam. And now there's no pack. The girls from Carolina are slowing it down. And now all the Montreal blockers are in the front. Erin Discordia being tossed from side to side.
My goodness. Nice jammer takeout on the part of Montreal. Answered right back by Carolina. That's the end of that jam. 26:50 left up on the period clock. 77 Montreal, 78 Carolina.
She managed to get a few points in the mix. And You and What Army is still sitting in the box, which means a power jam for Carolina.
Real quick, we'd like to thank our sponsors, our friends at Flat Track Revolution, for producing the awesome gifts we've been sending out to our contributors. Your every revolution needs to live a dream. Shirts, jackets, and tote bags will be on the way shortly if you haven't already received them.
And now Celia Fate on a power jam for Carolina, trying to get through her first pass. The girls from Montreal are definitely speeding up the pack. You and What Army is outside, is out of the box, and trying to make her first initial pass of this jam. And she gets through. She is the lead jammer.
That's right. With a lot of help from the blockers from Montreal, they sped up the pack, controlled that pace. A lot of what you saw tonight and a lot of bouts here. A great strategy to use.
And hot on her tail was Celia Fate, and so You and What Army decided to call it off.
It looks like Holly Want to Crack Ya is coming up to the jammer line again for Carolina.
And you've got the Iron Wench jamming for Montreal. The penalty box again, very popular. 2 blockers from Montreal are sitting in the box, and 1 from Carolina. And the jammers, the Montreal blockers, are jetting to the front, trying to control that pack for the Iron Wench. And she is being kept on a tight lock at the back.
That's right. But she is caught up in that track, but Iron Wench is a great example of a defensive jammer getting the hits in early. Carolina pulled through and got lead jam status on this one.
And Iron Wench has finally made it through on a couple of fancy footwork. And now they are locking back. She's greater, but she's forced to go to the back of the pack. And now the Iron Wench is on a pass, and Holy Wanacrakia has made it through and has scored a couple of points for Montreal. Actually, she scored 3 points for Carolina, sitting now at 81-77 for Montreal.
Indeed, in that last turn, the blockers for Montreal were giving Holly a lot of pressure, forcing her to call that jam off. You're going to see a close game from beginning to end, folks, so stay tuned. Don't leave those screens.
No, it looks like we're not going to know until the very end who's going to win this. But trying to make it better is Georgia W. Tush from Montreal facing Eris Discordia for Carolina.
That's right. And the best thing about DNN is we give you all the backstage news. Word on the street is that Holly Wanacrakia's fanny pack is full of glitter.
Must be full of fumes. That's why nobody wants to be behind her.
Indeed.
Maybe it's just got a jet in the fanny pack and just propels her forward as she's such a fast skater. But now Georgia Tush has made it through the pack also, and Eris Discordia, I think, is on a scoring pass. She's got 4 points and calls off the jam before Georgia Tush has a chance to make some points. And right now, Carolina increasing that lead, 77-85, 8 points in the front. But, folks, you know how roller derby works. One crazy jam, and this could be turned upside down with a 30-point differential.
It can change at any second. And speaking of changing at any second, if you need something to wear on DNN Appreciation Day, check out wickedskatewear.com. They are the official outfitter of the Derby News Network. Thank you for supporting us.
And now Ewan Watt Army picking up lead jammer status. And the Carolina Jammer still not out of the pack. And we are looking at Celia Fate.
That's right. Carolina was trying to make a move right there. Montreal denied it all, keeping up the speed of that pack, trying to make some places and some holes for their jammer to come through as she goes on her pass.
Oh, and now piling up. Oh, Romeo on a fall. She is getting up. Yeah. She had a big fall earlier in the game, and now it looks like she's having a hard time.
Mm-hmm. Big spill over there out of turn 2. She's having a rough time shaking this one off and getting back in the action, but she is making her way around the track with the rest of her team.
Yeah, and they need her because there was only 2 blockers left on that track for Montreal, and Ewan Watt Army decided to call it off, thinking that this was just going to be too difficult. Well, she did make some points, though. She made 5 points and 4 points. And now there is only 3 points separating these 2 teams.
That's right, and in Derby, that 3 points means nothing.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all, especially when your name is the Iron Wench.
Exactly.
She is the jammer from Montreal, and that was weird. She tripped on the line, tripping in her skates right before she even took off.
But she is scrappy, the Iron Wench. Smack Daddy laying a nice hit on there on the jammer from Carolina. But Holly gets through. Yep, Holly gets through anyway. It's that glitter in that fanny pack getting her through that pack.
Yeah, that's right. And now Smack Daddy and Jess Bandit isolating a blocker from Carolina, and that looks like they're going to try and isolate Holy Wanacrakia.
Mm-hmm.
But she stops the action right away before the Iron Wrench has a chance to make points. And did she? No. 4 points for Carolina.
I tell you, Holly is definitely scrappy. Those blockers from Montreal were giving her no easy time right before the end of that one.
No, but let me tell you, she is up for the task. So far, she has been a hot scorer for Carolina. And now they send out for Montreal the queen of the power jam so far tonight, and I mean Georgia W. Tush.
Aha. Some
jammer taking a spell.
Yeah, jammer on jammer action by Georgia W. Tush. Land some hard ones into Eris Discordia from Carolina.
Georgia Tush is the lead jammer for this one. Eris Discordia.
Oh, nope. She's denied lead jammer status. She was skating backwards to block, so she's not going to pick it up on this one. That means that lead jammer is still open out there.
Yeah, and Eris Discordia can get it if she can get past that. Oh, little mama slaying some big hits. And Eris Discordia, yeah, she does. She makes it past, and does Georgia Tush have a chance to make it through the pack? No.
That's right. Eris Discordia gets through that pack quick and calls it, hits it, and quits it.
Hits it and quits it.
Hits it and quits it. Sometimes that's what you got to do, especially on a Saturday, Patrick. Keep it cute and keep it moving, honey, especially with 19:10 up on the clock. Montreal on the board with 82, Carolina 88.
Again, if you want to watch this beautiful and exciting game at home, you can get it on DNN. Don't forget, you can buy this DVD today. As soon as it's over, you can get it, and we will send it right to you. DNN.com can send you this beautiful DVD. Oh, and right now, oh no, Nameless Horror takes a trip to the box, and You and What Army is chasing down Celia Fate. Jammer on jammer. Celia Fate is the lead jammer. Let's see if she will feel this is too close for comfort and call it off before any points are scored. And now they are really neck and neck. Taking their sweet time. I bet you and What Army is hoping she'll call it off, because she's only got 2 blockers to help her out in the pack, and there are 4 blockers for Carolina. And yes, indeed it worked. She called it off.
Mm-hmm. So if you are indeed a derby enthusiast, and you'll see over the course, if you've been buying the DVDs and checking us out on here on DNN, you'll see a couple of strategies teams use on a regular basis, trying to outrun the pack, setting the pace so the jammer can't get through. You're going to see this for the rest of the weekend, and as Patrick said, if you want to keep seeing it, check us out and order a DVD.
And now still 2 blockers missing for Montreal and a full pack for Carolina. They send out Holy Wanna-Crack-Ya for Carolina and Iron Wench for Montreal.
Actually, that's Misanthrope the Mordant. She's being sent out. She picked up her 4th minor on that last pass and taken her trip to the penalty box.
And Holy Wanna-Crack-Ya, lead jammer. Whoa. And what happened with Iron Wench is sent to the box. She is being a very bad girl tonight. She never gets penalty, and now she's just in that box nonstop.
Ooh, and the bench manager from Montreal is not happy with that call at all. Hard hits from the blockers in the front from Montreal on the jammer.
Yeah, and now Nameless Horror is out of the box, and that means a full pack for Montreal, giving Holy Wanna-Crack-Ya a hard time. She is still not passed for her scoring pass.
Ooh.
And well, I just had to say it. She's passed now.
Indeed. She took a rough whip off of El Camino. El took a little spill but got up, and Holly got through for another scoring pass. Carolina.
And now the 4 blockers from Montreal making a wall at the front. And let's see if Holy Wanna-Crack-Ya will make it past. And not yet. Not yet. Oh, Smack Daddy.
Ooh.
Oh, little mama laying a big, huge hit on her. Oh, right in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a funky move. No, she's okay. Everyone's saying she's okay. Keep going, keep playing. She's a soldier.
I tell you, Patrick, Holly Wanna-Crack-Ya, that was a hard hit, and she's taken a couple of hard hits, especially to the head and neck area over the last couple of days here out in Westchester County. My goodness, that lady is resilient. Still out there skating, but she looks like she's doing fine.
Well, maybe it's time to have a conversation with her. She may have some funny subjects to talk about. Bam, bam, bam.
Bam, bam.
And it looks like they're fixing her up like she's a boxer going up to the next round. And now Montreal brings out Georgia W. Tush. Facing, we can't see her. The ref's in the way.
She does have the lovely, lovely striped socks on. And speaking of striped socks, you can get all of that and your Derby needs at Derby for All. Derby owned in Minneapolis and ready to serve you online at derbyforall.com. That's Derby, the number 4, all, ALL.com.
You know, maybe Holy Wanna Crack You would need some Dr. Hushka's beautiful bruise healer. She could lose the bruise with Dr. Hushka's ouch aid, and she's been getting a lot of ouch.
A lot of ouch on the track.
And now let's see. Oh, Erin Discordia for Carolina. Still trying to make it through that pack. And she makes it through the wall of Neon. And Georgia W. Tush still not through. Having a hard time with that. Carolina, she is sent out of the track. And now she's going to try and make that pass again. But
Smack Daddy taking her trip to the penalty box on that last turn, sitting this one out for Montreal.
And Georgia Tush is being knocked down all the way.
Major back block. Not sure on the call. Nonetheless, Carolina's Jammer is in the box right now, leaving Montreal in a huge power jam situation.
Yeah, and they need it. God knows. They are trailing by 11 points. Georgia W. Tush has done 24 points tonight. Let's see if she can make this up on the power jam. No, they are stopping her dead in her tracks. There is a wall of Black Carolina in the front of this pack.
Ooh.
Just not giving Georgia Tush an inch.
Well, I didn't know that Smack Daddy had come out of the penalty box, but that hard hit on that Carolina blocker in the back certainly let them know that she's back on the track.
Yep. She's not known for being discreet. And now let's see. Oh, Georgia Tush makes it through. Let's see. She is not lead jammer. That means they're going to have to go for those 2 minutes. And now 3 blockers in the box for Carolina. So that gives Georgia Tush an opportunity to make up this lack of points.
Ooh,
and Erin Discordia jets out of the box, quickly trying to make up some points. But the blockers from Montreal not about to let her through.
That's right. That was a hard-fought one. A hit was taken by
6
MC
points.
Fight, and she whiffed on it. And
6 points only now, separating the two teams. 5 points only on the power jam from Georgia Tush. The players are getting tired, and the game is getting tighter.
That's right. And that's what I was saying about that last play where MC Fight had come through, going to lay a hit and whiffed a little bit on it. It was only her out there hard fighting against those Montreal blockers. Those ladies do not give an inch. I think there's a timeout right now on the track from Montreal. They're conversing, going over some things. While we have this timeout, we're going to take this opportunity to give you some sponsor shout-outs. Woofed would like to thank Sailor Jerry Rum, who will be doing their best to get everyone stewed, screwed, and tattooed with drink specials at the after party this weekend. Thank you, Sailor Jerry Rum.
And we've also got Dear Rico Log Cabin Jeweler. You can check out their booth and purchase a commemorative Derby in the Burbs pendant, but that will only be good if you were here. Sorry. Nevertheless, they are a big sponsor for this tournament and helping us make this happen. So we thank them. Derico Log Cabin Jeweler.
That's right. And we like to shout out our sponsors because, again, Derby is do-it-yourself. It's all volunteer run and operated. Thank you for all of those who keep supporting the Derby News Network, keeping us in business.
And Celia Fate facing UN Watt Army. 2 blockers from Carolina and 1 blocker from Montreal in the box. UN Watt Army is the lead jammer. Now let's see if she can make this happen for Montreal. Romeo, back in action and still taking some big spills. She is going to have a well-deserved night of sleep tonight.
Yeah, she is.
I hope she's good to play tomorrow because they have one more game, and it's going to be either facing Steel City or facing Providence. But nonetheless, a Derby game's a Derby game. And now, the jammer for Celia Fate for Carolina is in the box, which gives a huge opportunity for Montreal. UN Watt Army to make up some points. Only 1 blocker. What is going on with the Carolina defense? They cannot keep it together right now, and UN One Army is just running circles around them.
That's right. They're spending so much time in the penalty box right now, Patrick. If your blockers ain't out there, they ain't doing no blocking. They got to stay out of penalty trouble, but it's going to kill them here if they can't make a move and make it right now.
And now UN One Army, there we go. Montreal playing great defense, isolating a player for Carolina. And UN One Army is just skating and skating as they have brought the pack to a stop, making this very easy for UN One Army. There we go.
Oh, Montreal.
This is the jam of the night, bringing Montreal back into the game. 107 to 100.
Oh, Montreal is killing them right now. Having their way with Carolina on the track. That's what happens when you get into deep, dark penalty underworld.
Yeah, and that's what happened to Carolina. 12 minutes left to play. This could change in one jam, but folks, this jam was definitely a decisive jam in this game. I wonder if Carolina is going to be able to come back on this one, as they have been so close in the whole game.
Close from beginning to end. Almost as close as DNN is with Adam Wheels, the official wheel of the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. Adam Wheels introduces the all-new Juke 2.0, now available with either nylon or alloy hubs. Juke 2.0 is cut to the same low 59mm height, preferred by reigning champions of roller derby, the Ole Rollers.
And perhaps you can attach those wonderful Adam wheels to your Rydell skates, as Rydell is the official skate of the WFTDA. Rydell skates, check them out on the website. They are made for the extreme conditions of today's roller derby.
Dun, 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 dun. Woo. Working it out up here. Holding it down on the ones and twos. Derby News Network, me and Plastic Patrick bringing you the hotness. This is Montreal and Carolina game. 107 Montreal, Carolina up on the board with 100. Back in the action, jam number 13.
Yes, and it's the Iron Wench on that power jam. And now Montreal has brought the action to a stop, isolating a player, number 313. And Iron Wench is skated around them to get lead jammer status. Now Celia Fade has just propelled herself outside the box, and she's going to try and make some points, but the Iron Wench is making, yes, 5 points for the Iron Wench. Now it looks like Montreal has been able to turn it around, and Majwa LQ, I must say, she's the alternate, but she has come out and play this one. They have put their trust in her in this important game, and I think she is rising to the challenge.
That's right. Montreal is an exceptional example of a team whose athleticism and game has raised over this season. That's what's earned them this trip here to this Eastern Regional Tournament. Check this DVD out. You'll see them do some awesome things tonight.
And now the pack has... we're back into the pack, and Celia Fate is half a lap behind the pack, and now they are isolating Majwa LQ. She must not be happy about that. She's trying to prove herself to this team, and she has broken out of the isolation, and Iron Wench is sitting in the bench. She's in the box. She can't be happy about that. They are now isolating No Holds Barred.
That's right. Carolina girls doing a great job of setting that trap up in the back. Holden forcing that 20-feet call. She had to get through on that pass.
Man, I was thinking the game was in the box, but no. Celia Fate is now raking up the points. No, not quite yet. She could be on this pass, though. She has one more blocker to face, and that is Jess Bandit. One hell of a blocker, and she has sent her out, moving herself behind. Hey, cut the track. No, the official missed it.
Ooh, sheer mayhem gets this jam
mayhem
called.
And now the coach, not happy about that. Running to the center, telling him off. Listen, you had a major cut track and you missed it.
Not a lot of happiness going on out there. Lots of big hits and big moves out there in that last jam. 116 Montreal, 104 Carolina. 10-11 left on the period clock. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, 10 minutes to go. You know, it's enough to make it up, and it's enough to lose it. So this is still anybody's game.
It is indeed still anyone's game, because in that last jam, it just proved Montreal was making big moves, hitting their stride, putting a lot of points up on the board. But Carolina came back and was like, look, it ain't going to be that easy to take it, baby. You got to kiss me first.
Yeah, and kissing them, I don't think they mind if it means winning the game.
That's right. We're not completely out of the game yet.
No, sir. Now, perhaps we can take this time out to take advantage of Dr. Hushka's, the WFTDA's official bruise healer, because there is certainly a lot of bruising going on in this particular game. Lose the bruise with Dr. Hushka's Ouch Aid.
Mm-hmm. Some of it really smells good and heals bruises quickly. It's kind of lovely.
It heals ya. It smells ya. What does it not do?
What does it not do?
Maybe it can even get you a date.
Speaking of sponsors, a big sponsor shout out to DNN's very first sponsor, Sin City Skates. Buy skates from a skater at sincityskates.com.
Yeah, ain't nobody like a skater to tell you how to skate. She knows it, she wears it. And now seems like a bit of a confusion going on during this timeout. Coach Rev addressing Holy Wanna Crack Ya. I wonder if he's negotiating.
That's right. Who knows? Well, word on the street is that the refs are trying to figure out what exactly is in that fanny pack. What is going on? I'm sure it's many other things, actually.
You say glitter, I say a rocket propeller.
A rocket propeller.
Because she is a fast skater.
She is. Holly Wanna Crack Ya is definitely proof that Carolina's bench is in fact deep. They have a lot of very talented players on their team, as well as Montreal, which is what has made this game tight. A lot of skaters that can do a lot of different things. You have folks that can jam and block. You have people that are fast that can control that pack. That's why it's been such a close game up to now.
And unfortunately, you get penalties as you try and do all of these things at the same time.
Especially, too, one thing to point out, these skaters have been skating for the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Bout after bout after bout.
The most important game for all of them is yet to come tomorrow, because tomorrow we find out the final rankings. We get going at 10 o'clock tomorrow with the number 10th and 9th position game, which will be DC versus Dutchland.
Mm-hmm.
And continuing through the day right through the final, which will be at 6 p.m., where Philly will face Gotham in the final championship bout of the weekend. A rematch of last year where Philly had upset Gotham, and let's see if they can do it again this year. But right now we've got some business to take care of. We've got Little Mama jamming on a power jam. No, she's not on a power jam. Holy Wanna Crack Ya is there too for Carolina.
She's there too, but right now the jammer from Montreal was caught up behind the Carolina Roller Girls. Oh!
And that was a close one, but it was Holy Wanna Crack Ya that just edged out Little Mama to get lead jammer status. And now, of course, Little Mama is going to pass. What is she doing? She was just waiting. Yeah. No.
For a minute, there was a little jammer on jammer action in there coming out of that pack, forcing the call by Holly from Carolina. Good pressure on this part of Montreal.
Yeah, and she called it off because she knew Little Mama was ahead of her. But still anybody's game. 7 points separating these two teams. 9 minutes to go.
I think this might be Aaron Discordia back on the line for Carolina jamming.
Facing UN Watt Army, the Pocket Rocket from Montreal.
Mm-hmm. Both teams are down skaters. Both teams have skaters in the penalty box right now. We'll see what they can do with the shortened staff out here.
Oh, ow.
Oof.
Big hit from Nameless Horror. And was it a fair hit? No. She is sent to the box for it. And Erin Discordia gets through the pack. She is the lead jammer. And while, UN Watt Army is trying her best to get through that pack, and she has one more blocker to face, and she does it. Now let's see if there'll be points awarded on this jam. Aaron Discordia entering the pack. The 3 Montreal blockers are in the front, forming a great big wall of neon.
Devious, yes, right. Devious and Kitty Crowbar doing a great job of holding down the back of that pack, posting some holes. But the Carolina Jammer calls it off.
Yeah, I think she might have picked up a point. Did she? We'll find out in a minute. Nope, no points on this one. Still sitting at 116 to 109. Ewan Modarmi denied any points as well.
Holly wanna crack you, stepping back up with the Power Mystery Fanny Pack on the line for the Carolina Roller Girls.
Facing Little Mama from Montreal. Now she just jammed on the last 2 jams ago. She did not get satisfaction. Let's see if she's back for more action. Romeo still on the track. You just can't kill her. And let's see, Holy wanna crack you right, jumping at the lead jammer status. She is hot tonight. And Little Mama sent to the box. This could be difficult for Montreal to get over. All she has to do is make 7 points, and they are in the lead.
That's right.
Actually, 8 points.
And Carolina has found themselves in a power jam situation.
Yeah, and she has made 5 points, 3 more points, and they're in the lead. Only goes to show you it's anybody's game at this point. And let's see. Montreal is going to try very hard to keep her. Oh, was that a trip? No penalty on this one. And they are Carolina's isolating Romeo. They know she's tired, and they're taking full advantage of this. And she makes it through. Is that 5 points? Yes! Oh my goodness.
Oh,
this
my
is giving
goodness.
Carolina the lead in the game.
Lead change big here, period 2. 6:30 left on the clock. Carolina decided to make a move, and they made it here, and it was huge. Payoff.
Yeah, and it's worked. 4 blockers from Montreal, 2 blockers only from Carolina. They need to get it together. They have more blocker force than Carolina. And yes, she calls it off and salutes the crowd, as she should. This was a very important jam tonight. Could this have given Carolina the game?
Oh, my goodness. And, Patrick, you can definitely tell that these ladies, their endurance of playing all of these bouts and going hard for the last 2 days is starting to wear on them. You can see the tiredness of the skaters on the track, but they are pushing through, still giving it everything that they've got in every jam.
Yes, because the winner of this game will go on to face Steel City and get a chance to play for 5th position. The loser will face, I think, Providence, and will be playing for 7th position. So a lot is at stake right now. And Smack Daddy here to rescue the Montreal girls. She is the lead jammer, and who is the jammer for Carolina?
Ooh. Carolina goes for a jammer
Celia
takeout,
Fates.
whiffs on it. Smack Daddy goes for one more jammer pass.
Yeah, Celia Fate is the jammer for Carolina. Let's see if she will be making any points. Whoa, what's going on? Had she stopped it? Yeah, she had stopped it before the jammer had the chance to enter, and she makes 3 points.
That's right.
Oh, inching by their way back up. 119 to 122 for Carolina. Still so very close. And look at that. Who is Carolina bringing out? The woman with the fanny pack. Holy wanna crack ya.
All right.
Oh, but this time she's wearing it in the front. So it can't be a propeller, or else it would propel her backwards.
Gotcha. All right.
Maybe she just switched it to the front to get us to talk about it.
Yeah, maybe it's a hybrid.
And Ewan Watt Army jamming from Montreal.
Holly finding her holes, making her way through the pack. Montreal pushing to the outside, made a hole for their jammer. Montreal gets lead jam on this one.
That's right, and Holy Wanna Crack is still dealing with, a wonderful blocker. The Iron Wench doing some hot defense, and she is, oh boy. Did she? No, she gets sent out to the box for this. I wonder if this is going to affect the game. Of course it will. I just don't know how. Oh, no.
Oh, big falls on the part of number 313, JoJo Gadget.
And now you're in What Army trying to get back at the front of the pack, trying to make some points, and Holy Wanna Crack is still going at it like the Energizer Bunny. And the Carolina blockers are just playing pinball with you in What Army. She stops the jam just because she's had enough. And Holy Wanna Crack ya saying, hey, give me at least the 1 point I earned.
Yeah.
Does she get it?
She's
I
going
don't
to get
think
some
so.
love from the fans in the corner.
I think she was just putting up her finger saying, hey, I'm the one.
I'm the one. Don't sleep.
I'm the
That's
one,
a
I'm the
talented
one.
lady right there.
Yeah, so now look at that. 121, 122. Does it get any closer, any better than this? I think we are going to have to buy the DVD to know who wins.
Because it's unbelievable,
Because we
Patrick.
are going to lose our mind before the bout is over, and we just won't be able to tell you who won, and then you'll have to buy the DVD to know who took it.
Oh, you guys listening to us right now, I wish that you could be here. I wish that you could feel the excitement in this arena about this Derby amazement that is going on. But since you can't, myself and Plastic Patrick are bringing you every inch-by-inch play-by-play right here on the Derby News Network. Don't you think about going anywhere else for your Derby news.
And if you're not here and you don't play roller derby, well, you could, because there is the Frozen code base announcing Jam City Roller Girls video game. Check that out, Google it, and you will find it, and you too can play roller derby without even owning a pair of roller skates.
Woohoo. Getting right back into the action.
Yes, Smack Daddy for the Montreal Roller Derby New Skids on the block, facing... she is so close to the line, we can't see who she is. Carolina sending out...
It's Eris Discordia.
Eris Discordia.
2:40 left in period 2. Jam number 19, 121 Montreal, 122 Carolina.
And now there are two walls forming. One wall at the front for Montreal and one wall at the back for Carolina. Man, it looks like these teams call each other and say, let's do this
The same
strategy and see who gets on top. And both jammers get out. And it looks like Discordia is the lead jammer, but Smack Daddy is in the front, so... Of course, Aaron Discordia is going to call it off before Smack Daddy has a chance to make points. But they want to kill some time because they are ahead by 1 point. So their game is to let's try and stretch this as much as we can.
Make that point count.
And win this damn game.
Oh, I hear Rocker Boy over there at the announcer table going crazy for his team. Carolina Roller Girls, who made their move and are hoping to make it stick here with 1:36 left in the period clock.
And look at that. Holy Wanna Crack Ya. Lining up for Carolina, facing the Iron Wench, who seemingly has been denied the glory that she usually gets in these games. Now let's see if she can make it up and be a Sidney Crosby of herself. Remember, he's the one that scored that winning goal for the Olympic hockey game for Canada in overtime. Now, this is almost overtime. 1:37 left to play. 1 point separating these two teams.
No timeouts left for either bench. They're all out.
Oh, boy. So let's see if Holy Wanna Crack Ya is going to wrap it up, or is Iron Wench going to turn it around and make it happen. 3 blockers for each team. 1 blocker sitting in the box for each team.
A little movement going on the line.
Yeah, this is as exciting as it ever gets. Now, the tension is incredible as we are all waiting for this jam to begin. The fate of these two teams is resting on this jam.
That's right. Both of the jammers are off the line, and both have now engaged the pack, trying to make their way through. It looks like Montreal is going to get through first, and they can lead Jam.
Yes, Iron Wench has made it through the pack first. Holy Wanna Crack is still trying to get past Cheese Grater, and she is not letting her through. But no! Yeah!
Oh.
She lets her through. Let's see if Iron Wench is going to score some points and give her team the victory. 1 minute left to go. Lady O.
Oh, my goodness. Mayhem everywhere. The ladies from Carolina are trying to go into penalty kill mode, speeding up the pack, trying to outrun that jammer. But Iron Wench is right on their tails, trying to find her holes, trying to get through, coming up on that outside. Oh, my goodness.
One more jammer to pass, and she passes it. Yes!
4 fingers up.
Whoa.
Iron Wench calls it. What?
And Holy One of Krakia is screaming at the refs, hey, give me my points. Whoa.
And there's time for one more jam according to the clock.
There sure is.
They got to straighten some stuff out first out here on the track.
There's some stuff going on. What is she pointing at? She's pointing at the fans.
They're out of timeouts. No more timeouts for either team. Timeout. The officials call a timeout.
No kidding. Let's sort this out. 125, 122, 3 points separating the teams.
Goodness. So, if there were any games that are going to be talked about tonight at the after party and for months to come, it is going to be this one.
And yes, baby, you want to own it because you will want to know what they are talking about. So go to DNN. Actually, you already are on DNN. In a few minutes, when we know who won, when we are able to press these DVDs, get yourself a DVD and learn this game.
It's fabulous.
Make notes and bring it to your league. You know this is a hell of a game. You know there is all kinds of stuff happening in this game. It is fascinating and exciting, and I wish you were here.
Yeah.
But since you are not, we are here at DNN to bring it to you.
We're here to bring it to you. Go right beneath the video and click on it, and you can order a DVD of your own, folks. Patrick, I hope that you have had a good time so far here at Eastern Regionals.
My God, just this one game has made the trip worthwhile, don't you think, Lady O?
Perfect. It's definitely made it worthwhile for me. Not only this game, but all of the bouts over the course of this weekend. Also getting to call with amazing announcers like yourself. International now.
International. Bilingual, oui, madame.
Merci. C'est bon.
I try and throw in a little bit of French flavor.
Indeed. But from what I understand, in Montreal, you have Single Malt Scott that does the announcing in English, and you pick up the French and announce.
Mais oui, mais oui.
Awesome.
Yes, we are a bilingual province and a bilingual city, so we take full advantage of the two languages and the beauty that it brings. Now, what is going on? Oh, they are sending, Montreal is sending, of course, the Iron Wench.
Iron Wench versus Holly One of Kraken.
Look at that. It doesn't get any better than this. People here are standing up. They are biting their nails. They are going crazy. The tension is absolutely cutthroat.
Actually, you know what, Patrick? They could cut off all the lights in Westchester County Center right now, and the lights would still be on, running off of pure Derby energy in here.
Yeah, this is a nail-biter. And you know what makes it a nail-biter even more is the fact that there is one blocker for Montreal and 3 blockers for Carolina. So Iron Wench has got her work cut out for her. And 9 seconds left on the clock. But of course, they will go to the natural completion of this jam. And now there is some business going on over at the box.
While there is business in the box, we want to take another opportunity to give a shout out to one of our sponsors that keeps us in business. Cruise Skate Shop, Derby owned in San Francisco with a second location now open in Sacramento. Check them out online, cruzskateshop.com. That's CRUZ skateshop.com.
Now what is going on? They are changing blockers.
It looks like
Smack
Montreal
Daddy
is switching jammer. Smack Daddy is taking the line for Montreal now.
And they, I guess they are making Iron Wench a blocker because she is a good blocker too. And since she's the only blocker, they're setting her on Holy One of Krakia's tail. Oh no, is it Holy One of Krakia?
All right, so Montreal is changing the strategy up a little bit out here. JoJo Gadget getting a fist pump from her fellow blockers up there in front from Carolina. DVS out there online. Stars, the creme de la creme for Carolina out there, along with Misanthrope the Mordant.
And a few line changes for Montreal. They're sending out Revolver. Whoa.
Single
What
Malt
is
Scott
going on
getting
with
the
that?
crowd riled up here.
Yeah, as if they needed it any more.
Yeah. Raising it to epic proportions in the house this evening.
This timeout is taking forever. 5 minutes now on the timeout.
Dammers are getting antsy. They want to go. They want to finish it. They want to wrap it up here. Just like I know that you folks at home are anxious to see this one put to bed.
And guess what? They both want to win.
Oh, they both want to win real bad.
So badly.
That is
3
what's made
points
it an
only.
awesome game. Both teams have a lot of passion, a lot of fire, a lot of spirit out here. And all have left it out here on the track today.
Now, if I were Smack Daddy, and it looks like, because I know her, I know she is focusing and she is just getting ready to let the fire blow right out of her because she has a lot of pressure in her shoulders. Only one blocker to help her out. Or it looks like there's 2 blockers now. I guess Coach Rev is negotiating. Well, we can take all the time we need because we want this to be resolved properly and we want this to be fair. And it looks, I'm sure it will be, because we have now taken 6 minutes in this timeout and 2 blockers from Montreal, 3 blockers from Carolina.
And while we're still in the timeout here, today's live coverage is made possible by support from the Roller Derby Business Consultants at HaveDerbyWillTravel.com. Does your Derby League have growing pains from business structure to tournament hosting, league mediation, and more? Have Derby Will Travel has your Derby business covered. From building leagues to organizing tournaments to helping run major events like RollerCon, the experts at Have Derby Will Travel have been there making it happen behind the scenes with over 17 years of combined experience at the top levels of Derby production, leadership, marketing, and business.
And here we go. This is the epic jam of the epic game. Let's see. Oh, she's forced into the back. This is not a good time to get a penalty. And Holy Wonder Cracker gets lead jammer status. And Smack Daddy is right on her tail. Whoa, and she tripped on herself. This is very unusual. Let's see if Smack Daddy is right there with her. She's going to try and bring her to a stop, but now the defense for Carolina is going to try and let her out, and she does. She gets 4 points.
Big whip, Carolina.
Which gives her 1 point. Oh, my God. Does that mean that they've won?
Somebody's getting sent from the penalty box to Smack Daddy.
What the hell? What is going on? She stopped the clock. And no. There are hand signals saying no. This can't. Holy One to Crack you, definitely making this jam her own, saying, hey, I made 4 points. Give me my 4 points. And the girls from Montreal saying, no, 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 no.
And
oh, look at that. We're going to have a timeout.
Timeout on the track. The officials are double checking the score. Sheer, utter mayhem, pandemonium, derby craze, and it's going on right now.
Now, did she make those 4 points or not? And we are about to find out, as I have no nails left on my fingers.
Oh, goodness. I'm telling you, this is a crazy one. Stay tuned here, folks.
And it
all right,
looks...
so it's changing.
And right now, Montreal 125, Carolina 127. Is this final? Right now, it looks like Carolina might have taken it. And
Holly Wintertracchia is taken to her knees on the track. I think she's sending up some prayers to the Derby gods to make these points stick.
But Coach Rev, with his rainbow, and Jess Bandit, the team captain, are arguing that perhaps these points didn't count. I wonder. Well, if anybody is the star of this game, it's got to be Holy Wintertracchia.
Yeah. Yes.
Holy
Yes,
cow.
indeed.
Holy cow, Holy Wintertracchia. She has taken this game and she has put it in her back pocket. And now she just might have won it for Carolina.
Mm-hmm. The confusion about the final point count, folks. If you didn't know, that's what's going on right now. Not sure if the score, if Smack scored, if Holly scored, how many she scored. We're still waiting for an official word here.
And the girls from Carolina are trying to send some vibes over to the officials, trying to influence them with some funny hand gestures. And Professor Murder, the head ref, I think is explaining where these points are coming from. And the assistant coach, Peter Pantees, doesn't seem to agree with them.
I tell you, those fabulous rainbow outfits are very intimidating. Oh!
And Carolina takes it! Carolina takes it in an upset over the New Skids on the Block by 2 points.
The fanny pack, the praying to the Derby gods, all worked. There are boos coming from the crowd here in the Westchester County Center about the call.
This is the first upset of the championship.
Oh my goodness. A heartbreaker here. So it looks like that is indeed the final score. What is posted? Carolina 127, Montreal 125. In this last bout of the night, Day 2, Eastern Regional Tournaments, hosted by Suburbia Roller Derby here in Westchester County. Well, folks, we got the final word from the officials. Carolina has taken their victory hug. That must mean it is time for us to sign off. Patrick, it has been a pleasure announcing with you yet again.
Not only was it the greatest game, but you are the greatest partner.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
I have to say, Bulldog missed out on one hell of a game. He ran the first half, but you know what? The second half takes the cake. And with you, it was even sweeter.
Ah, you're a darling. And I am Lady O, voice of the Boston Derby Dames.
Plastic Patrick, voice of the Montreal New Skids on the Block.
And we will see you right back here on Derby News Network for more Derby action tomorrow.
Bonsoir.
Grand Slam, Bruce City.
They say we don't do enough. We don't stock enough skates, especially the bargain basement variety. We don't carry inlines or know the best place to get them. We don't have every package from every manufacturer. They say all these things. Yet every day we measure your feet. We study your stance and tailor your fit. We mount your plates and answer your questions. We build skates that make you fly. We're not here for them. We're here for you. And we want to make you go really, really fast. Make them catch up. Visit us online at fastgirlskates.com.